Michigan Replay highlights of the Wolverines' third straight conference win over Iowa at Kinnick Stadium. A look at Michigan's marketing effort, including a New York Times best-selling author. And a scouting report on Michigan's homecoming opponent, the Hoosiers of Indiana. All that and more coming up next. Michigan Replay with Schembechler and Jim Brandstatter. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Michigan Replay. Well, for the first time since 1982, the Michigan Wolverines come out of Kinnick Stadium in Iowa with a victory. This year, 26-12 over Iowa, and that's got to make you feel good getting out of there with a win.
Well, it's been a hard place for us to play, and we met a fired-up Iowa team, as you could expect. That game's always been tough for us. The main reason, Jim, is that of course, they're a good team, but it comes right after the Michigan State game. And the Michigan State game, is an emotional game for us. And then to go out to play two on the road, it's been tough.
And Iowa always seems to play their best game against Michigan. It always seems offensively their people do things they haven't done all season.
I told the team before the game that the one thing that you have to expect when you play at Michigan is that particularly when you go on the road, the team that you're playing in the Big Ten Conference will play the finest game they played all year.
Well, Iowa started out that way because on offense, when they got the ball, you deferred the opening kick. Right. They went to work on you on the ground, a little surprisingly, and with little dink passes over the middle.
Well, first of all, they ran the big guy.
255 pounds.
And he is big, Jim. And then they started to throw to him coming out of the backfield as they did here. For you viewers out there, you can see the size of this guy. He's 255 pounds. He's got good hands, and he's a load.
Last guy I saw this big running back was that Woodard kid from Texas A&M.
That's right. He's about that size, although this kid is taller. Rogers, their fine quarterback here, was under pressure and fumbled. Brian Townsend picks it up for us and enthusiastically running down the field when he knows you can't run with a fumble.
And then you get the ball, and Michael Taylor gets the start for you.
Well, we felt if we didn't start playing him now, we'd never get to use him all season. He had 2 good weeks of practice, and that's about all he's had all year, really. And I thought he did an excellent job. He threw well. He ran the team well. He got us into the right plays. Here's a 3rd down and 6 play, and he takes off scrambling. Now, the one thing about him is that if you leave a hole in there on what we call jump coverage, man-to-man underneath, and everybody's running out of there, he can hurt you scrambling with the ball. Unfortunately, here's a fumble. Well, we went down in there to score, and we lost the ball, and Iowa takes over. There was an exchange of turnovers in the game. Here's one for us, where Veda Murray goes up and takes the ball away from Iowa. I think Hayden thought that was pass interference. I didn't know it at the time until I saw it here on the picture. Mike comes right back and starts throwing over the middle to Chris Callaway, and we start a drive of our own. We're at the 30-yard line here, about at the 30.
And your young fullback gets in there.
Yes, this is Bernie Leggett. He's a regular freshman playing fullback when Gerard Bunch got hurt, and I think he's going to be a very fine player. Mike comes back, throws over the middle, and really pinpointed that ball. McMurtry made a great catch because he was under duress, and he got hit hard as he caught the ball. And we missed the extra point there, Jim, and it was 6-0. Come back and we get a fumble here. The big guy, Bell, was running for yardage, and we hit him from behind and stripped him of the ball and got the ball back.
Bobby Abrams caused that, and then you go back to work on the ground.
Right. Here's Tony Bowles for about a 5 or 6 yard gain. 3rd and 2 situation. And this you haven't seen in the first few games, the option play with Michael Taylor picking up the 1st down.
Oh, with Michael, he gives you almost more offense to run, doesn't he?
Well, I don't think more offense, but there are a few plays that we do a little more often than we would otherwise. Here's a field goal by J.D. Carlson that puts us up 9-0.
And he hadn't missed all year. There's a pleasant surprise from what you thought was going to be a concern early in the year.
He's been very, very good. Here we're under pressure. We had the man sacked, and he got the ball away. I thought Rogers did a great job. You know, Jim, he's the son of the Boston Celtics coach. And being a Piston fan, I resent that.
So you got after him pretty hard today.
Well, tried to. No, he's going to be a great quarterback. He's really doing a great job.
You talked about sons of coaches, and this kid shows good poise.
He does. He's going to be very good. And everybody's worried about them hitting a lot of passes on us. Here he hit Watkins for a touchdown to close the gap to 9-6. We blocked the extra point, go in at halftime, leading by 3. But back to this young Rogers kid. I think he's going to be a fine quarterback, and I'm sure his dad's very proud of him. But he threw for a lot of yardage against us, and he's going to be a force to reckon with in the conference.
And at halftime, you had to say, man, when are we going to be able to take control? Because it looked like he started to take control, then let it get away.
Right. Well, we let it get away when they went right down there and scored. And 3-point halftime advantage is not much when you're playing on the road.
Coming up, a look at the second half highlights. But first, a surprise for Michael Taylor when he found out he was going to start.
Bo came and told me this morning, he said, you're going to start. He said, just go out there and do your best, and then everything will be fine. I just went out there and tried to play hard. We went out there, we felt that no matter what the situation was, that we could get the first down. And I think that showed the character of our offensive line. Our running backs ran hard, receivers was downfield blocking. Hey, when you got a whole team just playing that way, I think you can't be beat. I can play here at Michigan. To play up to the Michigan defense is a heck of a job, you know. And if you can play with the Michigan defense, you can play with one of the best defenses in the country. That's what I came here to play with the best defense in the country, Michigan.
A very happy Brian Townsend, who filled in for Alex Marshall, who was injured in that first half of the Iowa game. And that's what you got to have, depth. And Brian Townsend came in and did a good job at that point.
Well, you do have to have depth because we lost Alex. Alex was our big pressure guy, rushing the passer, and we lost him. He went back in, he got re-injured, and after that we kept him out.
You got a precarious 9-6 lead at the end of the first half, and then you kind of fiddle around with each possession. Your second possession, though, in the second half, it looked like he said, let's take control, let's take this game.
I thought we could move on him, and we were doing a pretty good job of it the first half, but stopping ourselves. Here's a draw play to Tony Bowles after we had had a penalty. And this was like a 1st and 20. We had to get out from under that penalty.
And any question about Michael's ability to throw had to be answered right there.
Right. It was that was a 20-yard outcut, and he did an excellent job getting the ball to McMurtry. Here, he jammed us up in here, and Leroy broke outside and picked up good yardage as we're driving down in now to score.
And he held on to the ball.
And he held on to the ball, which, of course, is a great plus. Tony Bowles, I thought, running hard here. There weren't a lot of big creases in that defense, but enough to get us moving.
Big play here and a big gamble on 4th down.
4th and 1, we went to the bootleg, and Michael took it in standing up.
Now that really put the pressure on Iowa a lot, I thought.
Well, it gave us back to a 10-point lead, and that was good. We pressured the passer, and he threw the ball, and the receiver was down on one knee, and the ball was dead when he caught it for a 3-yard loss. This is this is Leroy breaking up the middle for a good gain. I thought both of those backs ran hard. Not great yardage, but important yardage.
And this is just a great run on the screen.
This is a screen pass. He got some blocking out there, and Tony knows what to do in the open field. He knows how to dodge. He's got good vision. He can see the defenders, and did a great job taking it in the end zone to give us a 23-6 lead.
And at that point, you had to be a little more comfortable.
Yes, except Iowa came right back, and the Rogers kid was throwing well. Threw this one down the middle right over our 2 linebackers for a 1st down. He hits this pass over on the sideline. A great catch. I think that's Rocky Marciano.
No,
that's
Peter.
Not his name. I know, it's Peter Marciano.
Rocky Marciano's nephew.
But it's Marciano's nephew, and he's one tough little football player. Here they hit Watkins again. Here's a 3rd down, 10. And on 3rd and 10, we had pressure on him. Stepped outside the pressure and threw the ball down there, right in behind Veda Murray for a touchdown. And that was to Marciano.
And as comfortable as you were before when you scored, now you're probably uncomfortable again.
Now it's not very good. Mike comes right out on a bootleg, hits Chris Callaway, who breaks away for a good gain. And we're on the move here again. And 3rd down and 20. This is a big play out here, throwing deep. And Chris Callaway got pushed in the back. had no chance to run under the ball. That's a first down penalty for us. We come back with the draw play. Leroy Horde getting good yardage. Finally gets stymied and go to the field goal, and J.D. Carlson kicks it, and that's your final score, 26-12.
And the importance of that drive was that it was a time consumer after Iowa had scored, and even though you only got 3 out of the drive, it really put the game away for you.
Well, I feel this way. When you look at the Big Ten this year, you got a half a dozen teams that are about as good as the others. If you really go down, including our ball club, there's 6 clubs in the league that if things are right, the other team's going to win. And when you have a chance to move the ball and score, even though it ends up 3 points, that 3 is very, very important.
And you've got to feel that your team has progressed pretty well. You've always said you never stay the same, you either get better or you get worse. And this team, I think, has gotten better, maybe not as fast as you'd like, but each week they seem to progress.
Well, they're playing a little bit better. I think we played a little better offensive football as we go along here. We're not running up a lot of points or a lot of stats, but we're doing a pretty decent job. We have to overcome the loss of J.J. Grant on defense, and that's a tough one. But taking everything in consideration, we're in good shape.
Maybe the added plus is, though, that you've got Michael back, and Michael looked like a little rusty yet, but when he gets going on,
yeah.
And plus you had an opportunity while he was gone to get Elvis ready.
That's right. Stop to consider for a minute that this kid really had 2 weeks preparation for this game. And that's about it, because he missed most of the preseason. He missed the last 5 weeks, and now, and I thought he did a good job.
A victory over Iowa. When we come back, we'll take a look at Michigan's marketing machine. But first, let's talk to one of the offensive heroes of the Iowa game, talking about the growing confidence in the offense.
You know, we moved the ball better than we have all year long, and you know, I think it was just a matter of time of things coming together, because we had a lot of young offensive linemen and a lot of other young people on the offense, and you know, things are starting to come together right now, and you know, we're pretty effective when things come together. It's nice to have Mike back. He's a 5th-year senior. He knows a lot about the game, and he kind of controls the offense and makes sure everything's under control when we're out there in game situation. Hey, Mike made a great read and you know, perfect throwing ball.